this year. One last update, and I'll be done. If you read in the paper, I don't know if it was in the paper, Bethany, or not, but Lamar Dunn has submitted, as required, the report to TDEC to try to get improvements in the delivery of power to the wastewater treatment plant to avoid overflows. The recommended option from the report was for MUS to install smart switches that could help the wastewater treatment plant as well as the Spring Creek pump station, which is over beside Cherokee Park. And if TDEC accepts that, it would cost us in the range of $300,000 to $400,000, and the city would have offered them an option to pay that over 3 years to improve power supply, and you can make a decision if you all want at that time whether we should help with that. It doesn't do us much good except to give a little bit faster response to getting power up at the intake pump station, but we've got storage in tanks anyway, so it's not really, doesn't really help us, but it helps the city. That was the option, to try to use these smart switches, which it means instead of us rolling trucks and taking 30 minutes to an hour and a half to get the power back on, depending on what's down, and manually switching things, this has the intelligence to sense faults in the line, and in a matter of, what, I guess 2 or 3 minutes, it would have this stuff switched and power would be back on. The generator options in the report were far more expensive, and it only affected the wastewater treatment plant. It is a very old plant, and they were going to have to do a ton of work inside the switch gear to use generators, and it wouldn't have helped them anyway with the Spring Creek pump station. So, you know, the storm comes through and knocks down multiple lines in that area, the smart switch is not going to solve everything. But the city believed that the best option all around at this point would be the smart switches. But the best bang for their buck, because they have other funding that's necessary in other places in the system. So that's where that stands. And we won't hear anything, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months before TDEC says anything, I don't know.
We've talked
That's all I
about it
have.
quite a bit, but shouldn't we have somebody overseeing what the city of Morristown are doing on the sewer? If
We should.
Since we're going to be taking it over, I think I know exactly what's being done.
We were down there about a week and a half ago reviewing this report, and Lamar had said, and Tony both, that we need to start sitting down and looking at once the legislation is changed here in a month or so, it will allow them to move the sewer to us if they so choose, and I don't know what the schedule is, but that is the general thought, that they will look at. After his report comes out, which I can't remember, Mike, is it? It's between now and June. They're still looking at the report of all the collection stations, which also overflow, and what they're going to have to do with that to get the long-term projection of cost and what it'll do to rates. And I think, yeah, we need to be at the table doing that and plan to be. Right now, we can't do it anyway until we get things changed. But we are talking, and we do talk with Lamar, have some idea about what's happening. The big thing, I don't think, from a mapping standpoint, I don't know what maps, we've got to get in and figure out where everything is and what has to be fixed. So,
Okay, the next thing.